Welcome back. You're here because you want to get straight to the point, understand things efficiently.
That's the goal.
Today, we've got a really interesting connection someone's found in aging research.
Yeah, it's fascinating. We're looking at a study. It's published in Aging Cell, and it really digs into how aging immune cells can affect blood vessel growth.
Okay, aging immune cells impacting blood vessels. So what's our mission for this deep dive?
Well, we want to unpack how these specific immune cells, they're called macrophages when they get old, or senescent,
Senescent, right.
how they actually stop the body from repairing its blood vessel network properly, and why that's such a big deal for healthy aging.
Let's get into it then. What exactly is senescence again? Just a quick refresher.
Sure. So cellular senescence is basically when cells stop dividing. They kind of retire from multiplying.
Okay.
But they don't just disappear. They stick around in the body, and sometimes they can start secreting these inflammatory molecules, little troublemakers.
Right, like grumpy retirees stirring things up. I remember senescence has some benefits, doesn't it? Like wound healing.
It does, yeah, initially, and even cancer prevention. But the problem arises when these cells accumulate chronically. That's linked to aging.
Gotcha. So the study connects this to angiogenesis, new blood vessel growth.
Exactly. And this was a surprising part. They found these senescent macrophages actually put the brakes on angiogenesis.
Really? They slow it down. How did they show that?
Well, they did this experiment with young mice. When they introduced these older senescent immune cells into the young mice,
Uh-huh.
it significantly impaired their ability to form new capillaries. Those are the really tiny blood vessels, especially after an injury.
Wow. So more tissue damage resulted.
Precisely. Because the repair mechanism, the blood vessel growth, was hampered.
So how does that actually work? Like on a molecular level, what are these old cells doing?
It seems to boil down to one key player,
Yeah.
a protein called VEGF-A. That stands for vascular endothelial growth factor A.
VEGF-A.
Think of VEGF-A having different versions or isoforms. One version, VEGF-A 165A, is like a green light for blood vessel growth.
Promotes it.
Right. But these senescent macrophages, they decrease that green light version and increase another version, VDHEF-A165B, which acts more like a red light. It inhibits growth.
Ah, so they flip the signal from go to stop for building new vessels.
You got it. And this directly messes with the endothelial cells, the cells that actually line our blood vessels and do the building work.
I see. They're getting the wrong signals. And how does this connect to the bigger picture of aging? You mentioned inflammation earlier.
Yeah, this ties right into something called inflammaging.
Inflammaging sounds catchy, if a bit ominous.
It basically describes this chronic, low-level inflammation that tends to increase as we get older. And accumulating senescent cells, including these immune ones, are a major contributor.
So the senescent cells cause inflammation, and that inflammation, partly through messing with VEGF-A.
It impairs blood vessel repair.
Exactly.
And this contributes to a lot of age-related conditions where blood flow is crucial.
Like what, for example?
Well, think about peripheral arterial disease, or PAD, that's reduced blood flow in the limbs. Stroke is another big one, where blood supply to the brain is disrupted.
Okay.
And even potentially cognitive decline. Reduced blood flow in the brain isn't good for thinking, and this mechanism could be a contributing factor.
So it seems these grumpy old immune cells are really gumming up the works in our vascular system. Is there anything we can do about it? Any potential therapies?
That's the exciting frontier. It leads us to the idea of senotherapeutics.
Senotherapeutics, targeting senescence.
Exactly. The idea is to specifically target and maybe remove these senescent cells. There are drugs being explored called senolytics.
Senolytics, like analytics,
Yeah,
but for senescence.
sort of, yeah. They lyate or clear out senescent cells. Some examples being trialed are drugs like dasatinib and quercetin. The hope is they could clear out these harmful cells and rejuvenate tissues.
Like a cellular spring cleaning. That sounds incredibly promising. Are there any catches?
Downsides. There are. It's important to remember senescent cells aren't all bad. They do play roles, especially in acute stress responses like that wound healing we mentioned.
Right.
So the challenge is developing therapies that are really precise. We need to target the harmful, chronically present senescent cells without disrupting the ones doing important temporary jobs. It's a balancing act.
A very delicate one, it sounds like. Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway for us?
I think the core message is just how interconnected things are. Our aging immune system isn't separate from our vascular health. These aging immune cells can significantly impair our body's natural ability to repair and maintain blood vessels.
And that has real knock-on effects for age-related diseases.
Definitely. But the flip side is the potential. Understanding this opens doors for therapies targeting senescence, maybe giving us new ways to promote healthier aging by boosting our own repair systems.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How focusing on these tiny cellular processes, like what signals an old macrophage sends out, could unlock major insights into aging itself.
Absolutely. It makes you wonder what else is going on at that level. What other cellular secrets could lead to interventions for a healthier, longer life down the road? Food for thought.